My name is Malak Dridi, and today I will be presenting the World War I poster, War Rages in France. So, a little bit about this poster is that it was created by artist Frederick Henry Townsend, and it was released by the U.S. Food Administration between the years of 1917 and 1920, at the height of World War I. This poster was most likely directed towards American adults during that time period who had the financial means to donate to the cause. Woodrow Wilson had appointed Herbert Hoover as the food administrator, and the program lasted for 3 years before becoming the U.S. Grain Corporation. Although the United States Food Administration only officially existed for less than 24 months, it had a significant impact on American economic and political landscape during World War I. This administration had agency over the large majority of food production and distribution system, with its primary efforts being to regulate primary foods in order to guarantee the survival of both the civilian and military populations and the general well-being and enjoyment of the food at hand. So, in a Senate testimony in June 1917, Hoover indicated that bread is the fetish of food among the lower classes of Europe and said, they had 4 days' bread supply in the city of Paris, and if they did not get it on the 5th day, the war would be over. This is essentially insinuating a win for the Axis powers without this food aid, and he also pushed agendas such as meatless Mondays and wheatless Wednesdays alongside patriotic appeals to reduce food consumption and in turn preventing inflation of food prices due to limited resources. So understanding the stakes at which the USFA was operating under makes the dramatic propaganda such as this poster much more understandable. The agency was trying to avoid the use of strict quotas and policy restrictions of food consumption, so they had to rely on the American public's philanthropic ideals. So this poster is split into 2 parts, with the top half consisting of an image of war-torn France, with a town square filled with French natives surrounded by broken buildings in order to represent this. There are approximately 13 distinguishable people in the crowd, and their faces are solemn, distraught, worried, and are placed in a way that they are looking down or away from the viewer. The figures are wearing plain and somewhat tattered clothing, such as skirts, bonnets, and caps on men. The image here provides a visual representation and clear evidence for the reason behind the call to action written below the poster. By allowing the audience to be a witness of the hardship faced by the French, they become more inclined to take on the responsibility of feeding them and donating. So there are several non-human images that also add to the difficulty and danger faced by those in the scene below, whether explicitly presented or some underlying images within the poster. So you can see the black sky, broken building, and the crowded wagon. There's several dark shadows, and there's a lot of use of contrasting white space with the black buildings. So I found that this really added to the drama of the poster and made it a lot more intense for the viewer to see. So the designer also used 4 different types of font and 2 different colors of font. The fonts used mimic traditional book text, and the large font is the phrase "War rages in France" as seen in the box, and the second largest being "We must feed them," written in all capital letters. So the use of darker shades of beige, gray, and black adds a somber tone to the artwork, and it furthers the severity of the situation. By using diction such as "they cannot fight" and "denying ourselves only means life to them," further emphasizes the vulnerability of the French, their impoverished circumstances, and the need for American aid. This also instills the fact that their donation will make an impact and that it is not being wasted. These phrases in conjunction further emphasize the overarching theme of the poster that the French aren't only poor, but significantly worse off than the weakest in the United States. So some poster criticism I had is that I felt that the imagery could have been stronger and it didn't provide any deeper connection that relates specifically to the American experience. For example, religious imagery could have been used in the poster in order to form a bridge between the American audience and the French subject, who shared Christianity in common, and the use of more intense color could also improve the poster. Although the beige and gray does add a somber tone to the French experience, it's somewhat dull and does not do a great job of attracting the viewer easily to witness the poster. So the artist could have used more intense colors such as black, red, and dark blue to achieve the same somberness while better attracting the viewer and standing out. And here are my sources. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation. I appreciate it.